Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is an Amazon storefront overview. I had been trying to put this off, but I think it's needed. And since people are clicking on the storefront, I think it even more so now. I have also had a couple questions. There's some things in the store, if you just go in there, that don't make much sense. Or they don't seem to make sense. They do make sense, but maybe only to me. So let me run through a couple things here. So there's 7 sections. They are smokeless, pipe, clothing, work clothing, gear, books, bubblegum, jerky, and pop. First thing you need to think is that this shop or storefront or whatever you want to call it is not completed yet. Okay? I am constantly adding more things to it. I'm constantly remembering things that I have here that I think highly of that I should incorporate onto that because Amazon may have them. Now, some of them I did not get my own personal pieces from Amazon. But like today, I looked at something, I was like, you know what, I bought that at Tactical Gear, but maybe they have that on Amazon. And they did, so I added it. All right, so I'm adding stuff that I know about. Most of it I own right now. There are a couple things on there, and I will name one later in this video, that I do not have anymore, but I am very familiar with. Okay, so smokeless pipe, clothing, work clothing, gear, books, bubblegum, jerky, and pop. Bubblegum, jerky, and pop, I just added that section about 24 hours ago. It only has 3 things in it. It may be very limited on the pop side of things because they have ridiculous prices for soda bottles on Amazon. Didn't realize that until I started looking. There's some bubble gum on there now. There will probably be some jerky once I get the price ranges back into the forefront of my mind. I don't want to put anything up that is overpriced. That said, there are some things in the storefront that are overpriced. One I mentioned in the last 24 hours on the community page. In the smokeless section, there are mud jugs. As I said on the community page, I would not buy them on Amazon. If you want a mud jug at a reasonable real price of it, go to mudjug.com. Okay? I don't need the commission. I definitely don't need the commission if you're getting ripped off on Amazon. Okay? So, as an example, a OD green mud jug in my smokeless section of the storefront is running, I don't know, it could be even higher today. It had been at $20, and that's why I originally put it on there. Sometime in the last 72 hours, it shot up to $34. This is not worth $34. You could buy just this and pay shipping for Mud Jug and still have it $6 or $7 cheaper than that. Okay? So I am not looking for anyone to pay above what they should be for anything, and that's why I want to point something like that. In general, all the mud jugs that I have been able to find on Amazon have been overpriced by at least $15. Now, let me rephrase that. $10 to $15. All right? So, you know, look at the Amazon storefront to see what you're looking for or what one looks like or whatever. But go to mudjug.com for the mud jugs at least. Now, the old school spit buds, which are the ones without the goofy can holder or cutter thing at the bottom, those are priced about what they're actually priced from spitbud.com. And depending what setup you have with Amazon, the shipping may be cheaper than spitbud.com. So in that case, then yes, that might be an idea. One of those, by the way, a review of one of those will be coming. So, pipe section. The pipe section, guys that are into pipes are going to be like, oh man, he's just put a bunch of like really cheap pipes is what I use. That's the type of pipe I use. Small bowl, inexpensive pipes. Okay? They're always got a 6mm filter, Dr. Grabo filter. All right? The reason for this is I inhale. All right? So, the pipes that you see on there, I usually go for a straight stem. I did put a couple curved ones. They're all smaller bowl pipes that are, by pipe standards, inexpensive. That's actually what I use. I used to buy expensive pipes, and I'm not even going to go into those stories. But that's actually what I use. If you buy one of those pipes, you got to look at stuff that's connected on that page. Like if you buy a Dr. Grabo pipe, you're going to need to get the filters for it, or it won't draw properly. All right? You need to think when you're on there. Don't just be like, oh, I'll just buy this pipe and it'll all come included. No, that's not how it works. That said, moving on. Clothing and work clothing. I tried where possible to get the actual colors or the color combinations that I actually own. That said, when I put the stuff on, they would just put up whatever they wanted. Okay, so I think maybe the lager shirt, the Riggs Work Gear lager shirt is showing as black. I do not own a black Riggs lager shirt. I own about every color besides, but I do not own that one. But I can't figure out how to get them switched. And the one time I did get one switched, as soon as I checked back in the next day, it was switched back. So the only thing that's really glaring to me is the rain shoes, the rain boots, like light boots that I use, like duck boots, keep coming up in some goofy wool upper, which is really bothering me. I wear them in brown leather up top. And they are not work boots. They are just because I need something that will keep water off my feet in certain cases when I'm doing light work. Okay? So, books. Books are self-explanatory. That said, a lot of books that I think very highly of are actually not on that list. The reason is because they are now out of print. They were in print in the early 2000s, late 1990s, early 2000s. And although I can find them on Amazon, I don't think any of you guys are going to be putting out $80 for a paperback. Because I know I wouldn't. That's a lie. I did it once. Just once. So, gear. The gear section is a mix mash of basically stuff, tangible objects that I couldn't fit in anywhere else. That said, there is one thing that may have people scratching their heads. There's paintball guns there. Paintball guns, for those that don't know, can fire other projectiles besides paintballs. Okay? So, they can fire what's called a riot round, riot bullet, less lethal. Okay? What I have now in-house is the pistol that you see there, the Walther. Okay? It fires a .43 caliber solid ball. All right? I used to have, and this is one of the things that I have in the store that I do not own at this moment. I recently had to sell it, actually, which I wasn't overly happy about, so it's sort of a sore topic, is the Stormer, the rifle. The one that does not have the air cylinder in the stock. I never had that one, but that may be coming. The Stormer I'd like to get back. I'd like to get another one soon. I'd like to do a review of it. These are for when you're in gray areas and or own wall-to-wall beige carpeting. Somewhere where you wouldn't want to do a shotgun blast and hit anything anyway. The pistol's a little bit light. I'm going to be honest. In close quarters, in a jam. See, I do a lot of, I don't want to call it security patrolling, but I am active at night during the warm months. Usually it is in some sort of watering rather, context, but I do property checks. That said, I am unable to legally own a handgun. Also, I am in a situation where if I'm on somebody else's property, even though I am allowed to be there and they know I'm there, I am in personally a gray area as to you're not in your own house. If somebody breaks through your front door and you shoot them and the door's broken and the cops go, oh, this guy's not supposed to be here. You do, okay, your ID says you. That's pretty clear cut. In a situation where you're outside on someone else's property and you are not a licensed security agent, that is officially a gray area. That is where I use less lethal. Listen, you get hit with a .43 caliber solid shot to the temple, less lethal quickly becomes lethal. So, you need to... Less lethal is not non-lethal, okay? This isn't mace. The Stormer is a .68 caliber, and it will shoot jawbreakers, quote unquote, which is a type of solid round. There are pepper ball rounds. They tend to be sold in larger allotments and are very expensive, so I have not put any of them on the page. But that's why you're seeing paintball guns. I'm using them as less lethal defensive weapons. Okay? Books, bubblegum, jerky, and pop. Again, you know what? I opened that up because I saw a couple bubblegums that were good deals, good prices. And then after I opened it up with them on it and put them on, I realized those were like the only ones that were good price. So it may be a little while before anything else gets on there. I'm going to have to really, really look. And I think that's about it. Smokeless, get your mud jugs at mudjug.com. I'm not sponsored by, and we're paid to promote Mud Jug, and I'm not really a fan of the personality surrounding that company. That said, they are quality products, and the ones on Amazon are way overpriced. So go to mudjug.com. In that scenario, I do not mind putting their name out there. Go to mudjug.com if you want mud jugs. Pipes, that's what I use. All right. Clothing, work clothing. A lot of the stuff is showing not the color combos or sizing that I wear, but it gives you a basic starting point. Gear, mix mash. There's all kinds of stuff on there. There's like a mini screwdriver set. To tell you the truth, the screwdriver set I use basically only, although it does come in handy a lot, basically I use that for modding Nerf guns, to tell you the truth. That's what that's there for. Books I went through, and bubblegum jerky pop I will hopefully get to. And that's that. I didn't want people buying stuff, or I thought I was like, when I started, I was like, okay, well, I'll do the reviews and I'll explain as I go along. And then I started thinking, I'm like, some of these reviews could be like 50 weeks away. That's not helping anybody now. So this was that. This is me trying to clear things up there. Anyway, I do hope you guys are well. I am coming back very shortly with a Condor Contractors baseball hat review. No, I'm not kidding. Anyway, I do hope you all are well. Do take care of yourselves. And as always, God bless.